Hello everyone, welcome to video lectures on subject fluid mechanics. In this subject we are going to discuss chapter number 1, that is introduction to fluid mechanics. In this session we are going to discuss the two concepts, that is compressibility and bulk modulus. What is the relationship between compressibility and bulk modulus, and second one is known as surface tension. Now let's see what is meant by compressibility and bulk modulus. So compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus of elasticity. In simple definition, what is meant by compressibility? Compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus of elasticity, represented by K. Now let's see how it works. Okay, let's consider a piston cylinder arrangement as shown in this diagram. So let's consider this is a piston, and this is cylinder which is fitted with a piston. So what happens when the piston moves into the cylinder? I will represent it over here. Suppose this is your cylinder which is fitted with a piston. At initially piston is at top side, and let's consider that this is the initial volume V. And now if suppose your piston moves in the downward side like this, so this whole portion get small. So this is change in the volume, which is represented by suppose small v dv. Okay, so I have shown in this diagram, if the whole large volume is suppose v and small volume is represented by dv. Okay, where v is the volume of gas enclosed in a cylinder. When the piston is at the top side, total volume is represented by v. And if suppose p is the pressure of gases when v is the volume. Initially I told you that when the piston is not moving inside, whatever may be the pressure of gases, it is represented by P. Then let pressure is increased by P plus dP, and the volume decreases from V to V minus dV, because we know that there is a relationship PV is equal to mRT. If mRT are constant, then we know that P is directly proportional to 1 upon V. It means if the pressure increases, your volume decreases, and vice versa. So that it is written that if the pressure increases from P plus dP, small value, this is a initial pressure P, it is increased to small value dP. So P plus dP is the increase in the pressure which decreases the volume from V to V minus dV. This is the small volume than original. So what is the value of increase in the pressure is dP. This is the small increment in the pressure. And what is the decrease in the volume? It is small decrease in the volume dV. Then we know that volumetric strain. Okay, so there are different types of strain: shear strain, volumetric strain. So we know that what is my volumetric strain? It is a change in the volume to the original volume, and negative sign is given because negative sign means volume decreases with increase in the pressure. So volumetric strain is change in the volume to the original volume. Then what is meant by bulk modulus? Bulk modulus K is represented by increase in pressure to the volumetric strain. Increase in pressure to the volumetric strain. What is the increment in the pressure? Here I have seen dP, so I will write here dP, and volumetric strain I have represented by this minus dV upon V. But we know that if you transfer this denominator to the numerator, this P will be as it is dP, this minus sign will go to numerator, and this volume get multiplied, and in the denominator we have only dV. But according to the definition of this, compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus K. So here compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus. So this is the relationship between compressibility and bulk modulus. So it is the reciprocal of our elasticity, that is K, which is represented by this piston cylinder arrangement. Now we will understand the most important concept of fluid mechanics, surface tension. So what is meant by surface tension? Surface tension is the tendency of a liquid surface to shrink into minimum surface area as possible. We are all aware of raining phenomenon. When water comes from the clouds on the earth's surface, it comes in the form of small droplets. It is because of the phenomenon of surface tension. One more example I will give you. Suppose you have one glass filled with a water, and suppose if you put a small stick over this glass like horizontal way, then it will not get sink into water, because this upper layer of water works like a stretched membrane. It will work like a stretched surface, and this stretching of surface is known as surface tension. It is because of the surface tension. To explain this phenomenon, I have taken this figure where this is a water and this is air. So at water or liquid air interface, surface tension results from a greater attraction of liquid molecule with each other due to cohesion than molecules in the air due to adhesion. So I will explain this phenomenon with the help of this diagram. You can see, let's consider there are 4 particles of water. Number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. So these 2 water molecules are completely inside the water, and these are attracted by the water molecules only, or water particles only. So there is an equal amount of attraction from all the sides, so net force is 0. For this particle of water also, it is completely surrounded by water only, so the attraction force becomes equal and opposite, so net force is 0. These forces are known as cohesive forces. So cohesive forces occurs only in the similar kind of molecule because of the mutual attraction. Here, as this water molecule is completely surrounded by water only, the cohesive forces exist. But if you consider these 2 water molecules, these are attracted by air molecule also, and these are attracted by water molecules also. You can see with the help of these arrows. So here adhesive type of forces occurs. Adhesion is the tendency of dissimilar particle, means water plus air or surface to cling one other. So what happens here? These water particles are attracted by air also as well as water, but the water forces are more than air forces. Okay, so what happen? These particles are get attracted toward inside, and these are get attracted towards each other. So this is represented by red arrows. So what happens? The water molecules at the surface of water are get attracted in water side also and towards each other, and these red arrows are represented like a tensile forces, so that water surface acts as a stretched membrane, and this stretched membrane is because of the phenomenon of surface tension. So I have explained this whole part, but I will show you there are two primary mechanisms. So there are 2 primary mechanisms. One is that the water molecules are get forced inside because of the water molecule as represented by these arrows, and second is the tangential force parallel to the surface of liquid. So these are the tangential forces. The net effect is the liquid behave as a surface which is covered with a stretched elastic membrane. So I told you that because of these 2 kind of forces, the water surface acts like a stretched membrane, and this is known as surface tension phenomenon. Because of this surface tension only, ships can propel on the surface of water. Otherwise the ship may get sink into water. So the whole theory I will explain to you. So surface tension is defined as the tensile forces acting on the surface of liquid in contact with the gas. So this phenomenon only occurs when there is a contact between two different fluids, that is water and air. This surface tension phenomenon is represented by Greek letter sigma, and in MKS system it is expressed in kgf per meter, and in SI system it is represented by Newton per meter. Now we will understand the surface tension on a liquid droplet. We have considered 2-3 cases where the surface tension occur. So let's consider first of all liquid droplet. It looks like a spherical shaped droplet. Okay, so this is the first phenomenon of surface tension. Let us consider that here sigma is the surface tension of a liquid. So on this liquid droplet, sigma is the surface tension. P is the pressure intensity inside the droplet. Let's consider that to prepare this droplet, P is the pressure density inside the liquid droplet and D is the diameter of the droplet. As this is spherical in shape, we'll consider the D, that is the diameter of a droplet. Now what will be the value of pressure inside this droplet? Now with the help of this formula you can calculate 4 sigma by D, where sigma is known as our surface tension, D is the diameter of our droplet and P is the pressure intensity inside the liquid droplet. So in the examination, if problem comes on liquid droplet, then we have to use the formula P is equal to 4 sigma by D. Now we will consider the second case, surface tension on a hollow bubble. I told you that in case of raining, the water droplet is completely filled, so that is known as a water droplet. But if you have the soap bubble, so in this case the bubble is hollow from inside. Only it is spherical in shape, but it is hollow from inside and it is surrounded by air on both the sides. So air is there on both sides of this bubble. So what was the formula here? For liquid droplet it is 4 sigma by D, but it is only covered from outside by air. But in case of hollow bubble, air is inside as well as outside. So just take a double value, that is here we are using 4 sigma by D, here we are multiplying by 2. The answer will come 8 sigma by D. And third one is known as surface tension on a liquid jet. Suppose this is a liquid jet, cylindrical in form. If suppose water is coming out through a pipe, then it will come like a cylindrical jet. Now here diameter of the jet is D, and suppose length of this cylindrical jet is suppose L, represented by capital L. Then finally the pressure we are getting is P is equal to sigma into 2L divided by L into D, where L can be cancelled and we will get the answer P is equal to sigma L by D. So these are the forces acting on a liquid jet. Thank you.